mom tried to pimp me when I was young. She would introduce me to Sunday school teachers, church elders, pastors, apostles, my dad's brothers, any customer who came to her store, motivational speakers, essentially anyone she thought was successful or could be a positive influence in my life. She was tenacious in the way she would try to hook me up with any alpha male that has been tagged as successful. And with the benefit of hindsight, I get it. I understand why my mom tried to do it. But as a young boy growing up, I rebelled against it. I simply didn't understand why I needed a mentor. So many times I would simply not call them, or I would have a conversation with them and there would be a fallout, or I'll find another excuse why the relationship didn't work. The most recent example I can remember is Professor Omani entry. One random Sunday, Prof calls me and says, "Hello, is this Papa Ofori?" "Hello, good afternoon, who is this please?" "Well, Papa, your mom gave me your number. She said that you need help with some of the things you're working on, so tell me, what do you need?" And that's how the conversation would always go. First of all, I didn't know Prof. I didn't know what I wanted or needed from Prof, but suddenly I had to generate conversation and find something I needed from a seemingly big man. When I think about it though, there are 3 reasons why I think my relationships with these people my mom tried to pimp me with didn't work. And the first one, I think, is because I really didn't know what I wanted for myself. Toastmasters asked that when you are getting a mentor, as a protege, you should tell the mentor what you want help for. But as a young man growing up, I really didn't know what I wanted in life. So how was I going to ask these men what I wanted from them? And when you're spoiled with a plethora of choices, you end up making no choice at all. So like the adage goes, too many cooks spoil the broth. And I think that this first reason is also tied into the second reason why it didn't work with these guys. There was a certain style of mentorship I was looking for. I needed a more direct involvement in my life. I was looking for someone who would be super involved, call me on a regular, ask me, "Hey, I thought about you this week. I just wanted to find out from you, is there anything you need? Or there's this event on entrepreneurship going on, I think it would be great for you, you should attend." Or simply just to say hello. But all these proposed mentors had a laissez-faire approach to our relationship. They seemed to be callous. They either didn't care or they just didn't know how the relationship was supposed to work like. But it wasn't until I was reading about mentorship again in my pathway that I realized that this really is the way mentors behave. They take a step back and allow you as a protege to make the effort. Reach out to them and tell them that this is what you need help with. Then they get involved. So to juxtapose it with a coach is more directly involved. The coach helps you with short-term projects, is more involved, and he usually tells you what to do and expects the results. Unlike a mentor, the analogy of him taking the ball, throwing it, and letting you go fetch, bring it back, he throws it again. The third reason, I think, is tied to the second reason. And that was my dad. I admired my dad growing up. My dad was grandiloquent and he was gregarious. I mean, he could preach up a storm and he would sprinkle it with laughter, humor, and good history. There was this one time my Sunday school teacher bragged about my dad. He said he was one of the few people who would preach and he would have to take up a dictionary because he always learned a new word. You should have seen me at that time. I was grinning, busting at its seams. But my dad also had a sense of perfectionism. So he would always expect the best from you no matter what. There was this one time I got 95% in math and he asked me why I didn't get 100%. So that created a sense of insecurity and I was uncomfortable telling my dad my weaknesses, my flaws, and things I thought I was struggling with. And this, I believe, is the relationship that you have with a mentor. You tell them what you are struggling with, and they teach you how to overcome it. But how was I going to tell someone I was afraid would attack my incompetencies, my problems? So because of that, I stayed away from getting a mentor. This speech is supposed to be a story of how I was a protege. And ironically, I never had a mentor because of my dad. Again, the only mentor I've had in my life has been my dad, because I super admired him and I wanted to be like him. So I can arguably say I'm even part of Toastmasters because of my dad. I want to be a gregarious speaker like he is, command attention when I'm speaking, and be able to influence a whole lot of people. At the same time, I've never had the privilege of having a mentor. But thanks to the Toastmasters community, I've had a whole list of people I can identify as my mentor today. And particularly in this club, I have identified 3 people that I have chosen to be my mentors. And it's been a very intentional thing. The first person is ASJA. My brief leadership role with Alfred introduced me to who a good leader is. I mean, Alfred is a quintessence of a selfless leader. He would call me on a random just to check up on me. I mean, just last week, this week, Alfred called me just to check up, and we are no longer leaders. But I think that he is a good example of who a leader is. The second person is our mentor, Mr. Moses Kofi. Moses is a great example of someone who wants to raise a new crop of leaders, especially in Africa. Every time I call Moses, it's almost as if he hasn't spoken to me in years. He would be very warm, we'll have the best conversation, and you always find out what's going on in my life. And finally, the 10th person I've identified who was assigned to me also as a mentor is Papa. Papa is a great speaker. Apart from my dad, I think Papa is the next best speaker in the world. And I want to be able to command that sense of attention when I'm speaking. So today, through Toastmasters, I've been able to find people who have been able to fill the vacuum in my life. They've been able to teach me because I've been open-minded, and they've been able to mold me because I've been receptive. And it's all because of the mentorship track in Toastmasters. So I would encourage all of us, if you haven't found yourself a mentor, this is the best place to find one.